An NBA insider just revealed a massive Celtics trade update on Anfernee Simons and Sam Hauser, as it is said that GM Brad Stevens is still looking for that one final move for the Celtics this offseason that would get them under the luxury tax. We'll tell you all about it here today on Celtics Digest. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Jace Andrews, and I appreciate you tuning in to today's show. Have much to discuss, so let's get right into it today with this headline. The Celtics could still make one more trade this summer, says insider. We all know that this has been a very active offseason for the Boston Celtics. You go from trading Kristaps Porziņģis, trading Jrue Holiday. You then acquired Anfernee Simons. You acquired Georges Niang. You immediately moved Niang just to help with that cap space. It was a trade for Kristaps for the Celtics to get somebody else that would also be easy to trade to continue to push themselves down and down that second apron to the first apron, under the luxury tax. Obviously, without Jayson Tatum, this is going to be, let's say, an intriguing year. I personally am a little more optimistic than probably most Celtics fans are. I believe that there is actually a very good shot we make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, and if Jayson Tatum is able to come back in March, I really believe we have a shot to be one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, at least when it comes to playoffs, because you talk about a Celtics team being a 7 seed and adding Jayson Tatum, yeah, good luck. The Eastern Conference is not that good top to bottom, where if they're playing even the Knicks, I think that would be a very good revenge series for the Boston Celtics. That being said, though, the Celtics, as of right now, are still trying to get under that luxury tax. At least that's the plan, and that has been the plan pretty much since Jayson Tatum got hurt. I think that really put into this full effect that, okay, we're going full save mode, try and build this roster in a proper manner so that when he does come back, we're going to be financially stable, first of all, and have a team that is championship caliber in at least the best way it possibly can be. And so that's where we go to report here. Ryan Stano of Celtics SI setting it all up, saying, quote, Boston still has to make a move or two if it wants to fully get under the luxury tax. They are already under the second apron, which they were in last season. Because they are so close to getting fully under that luxury tax, the Celtics still could make a trade, and an insider believes that they will. Okay, so we have known for a long time that the Boston Celtics, after getting Anfernee Simons, they've been shopping him, right? That's been something they've been looking around, and it's just about, has any team been willing to bite? Obviously, no one has yet. But it seems like Anfernee Simons might not be the only one they're shopping. As we go to a prerequisite of the official insider report, Ryan Stano of Celtics SI once again saying, quote, Sports Illustrated's Chris Mannix believes the Celtics could make one more move, not just to get under the luxury tax, but to improve the team in general. Okay, so we have the quotes there. Let's go to the actual report from that Sports Illustrated insider, Chris Mannix. So he says, quote, if they make one more move, it wouldn't surprise me. Right now, they're under the first apron. They're almost under the tax. If they make one more move, if they can find anybody who will take the contract of Anfernee Simons, that will set them up for success in 2026 and beyond. Now, while Anfernee Simons is the most logical choice because, well, you traded for him this offseason, and if you're looking at the options for the Celtics, it really is only two guys, Anfernee Simons, and the other guy, like I mentioned, it's Sam Hauser, and here's the reason why, saying, quote, if they can't get off Simons, they might have to move someone else in order to get under the luxury tax. That could open the door for them to trade Sam Hauser. Personally, I'm a big fan of Sam Hauser. I think that he has had a good stint in this organization, and I believe that if the Celtics have their choice, they're going to trade Anfernee Simons over Sam Hauser every day of the week, specifically from an organizational standpoint of Simons not being the most, great in defense, and in all reality, not knowing what his, role in the team would be, whereas Sam Hauser, you kind of know the role. You can expect to have him go off in a couple nights, and, that three-point shot for Hauser can really get going and can really change the entire, honestly, mindset of this team in so many ways. So, in that same light, though, what is the better possible setup here for the Boston Celtics? As I mentioned, Sam Hauser has been with this team for a long time. However, if stats say anything, you'd probably rather move off him than Anfernee Simons. 21.7 minutes per game last year, 8.5 points per game with a 3.2 rebounds per game average. Not much on the assist category because Sam Hauser, as you know, or if you've watched, he is a very much catch-and-shoot corner three guy. You can see in that little note in the bottom right, he shoots .458 on corner threes, and he's heading into what will end up being, his age 28 season when it's all said and done. But the point would rather be he is going to get more minutes this year. He is going to get more effective minutes. He's going to get more valuable minutes. So that points per game average is for sure something to watch. I'm not saying you just disregard that at all. But if you compare him to Anfernee Simons, it's definitely, a wish-wash of what you can exactly expect, and in some ways what the expectation is for each player. And so with that being said, I think in a lot of lights, you're maybe more or less a little bit away from trading Sam Hauser rather than Anfernee Simons. So we continue on with the report here. Ryan Stano, again, of Celtics SI, saying, quote, Hauser and Simons are the two guys to watch because their contracts being shed would allow them to get under the luxury tax. Those guys would likely have the most demand of players Boston is willing to trade. Personally, that last quote's a little bit misleading to me. From what I can see, from what I can hear, I believe the Boston Celtics are only going to be trying to shop Anfernee Simons and will listen to offers on Sam Hauser. I don't think anybody else is in that trade talk kind of mind. GM Brad Stevens has made it very clear we have high hopes for Peyton Pritchard. The expectation is that he could be a starter for this team through this season as long as Jayson Tatum is out. Obviously, when Tatum comes back in, can really make a whole wish-washing again. We really don't know if Tatum is going to be fully ready for the end of this season, / if the Celtics are out of it or in a place where it's not worth it to bring him back. You don't exactly know when he could come back, if it was the season or if it would be the season after. But in the same line, I'm kind of continuing. It really intrigues me because Hauser, he has the role, it's there, but they're okay. Chris Boucher could also play that, power forward position, which that's technically where Sam Hauser is listed on a lot of depth charts. I personally don't see that being a thing. If you had to ask me what the actual starting lineup would be, I think they would probably rather it be Derrick White. I think you move Peyton Pritchard to the shooting guard, a small forward of Jaylen Brown, and then probably going to get Chris Boucher at that power forward position and Neemias Queta as your starting center. And then Sam Hauser can play small forward and shooting guard maybe a little bit better. I don't know. I think you're going to go really, really, again, Hauser's tall, but you're going to go small. It's the more the body size and type, and he's not Jaylen Brown. He's not Jayson Tatum in terms of the body. So I think that'd be an interesting slot. As for Anfernee Simons, the question still stands, is he going to play over Peyton Pritchard? Are they going to put Peyton Pritchard behind Derrick White, knowing that Pritchard's going to be here for the next couple of years? It's just a weird situation to be for me. And I understand there's a lot of fans, why not keep Anfernee Simons is the question you're probably asking. The answer to me is you're not going to have him after this year. So unless you can firmly say that he is going to make this team better and make this team, I would argue, at least playoff caliber, to the point where you're expecting them to be in the playoff conversation and for the chance for Jayson Tatum to join this team late, I think the better option is to move off him and see what you can get in return. Potentially that's a small power forward, a center in that line. I like Neemias Queta, but I want another big guy down there. That's just my opinion. But we really could just wait and see and kind of figure it out. However, I asked the question today. We talked about Hauser, talked about Anfernee Simons. Let's say the Boston Celtics were forced to trade one of these guys. Who would you rather them trade? If Celtics are going to move one guy, would you rather it be Sam Hauser or would you rather it be Anfernee Simons? I want you to let me know this down in the comment section, your opinion, your thought on it. Type S for Anfernee Simons, type H for Sam Hauser. I think I've made my point pretty clear in this video, at least my standing. I would rather trade Anfernee Simons. I think Hauser, the contract is there. It would definitely get them on the luxury tax. I don't know if he's as valuable as the contract suggests or as the Celtics rather suggest, but I still do believe that it's more of he knows the system. You can allow him to hopefully flourish a little bit more, and they've seen him. They probably trust him more. So I really think it depends on how well Anfernee Simons has shown out to Celtics executives since being traded / before the trade. Is Anfernee Simons the guy they were truly going after, or was that just who they could get, knowing they were trying to move off Jrue Holiday? So we'll figure it out, and odds are, or maybe we'll see they don't make a trade at all, and Anfernee Simons and Sam Hauser, they're both on the roster to start the 2025-26 season. As for now, though, we don't know. We appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time here on a Celtics Digest. For now, though, guys, peace out.